Shokana Yetu. And I first, of course, would like to show my continued appreciation for all who do participate in the lessons and questions, and also who choose selflessly to partake in this mission of the liberation of our African people, of our Ba-Kongo. And it is a powerful thing indeed to see minds awaken and new mouths open for the betterment and advancement of all of our people through our Earth Mother. So personally, I would like to say thank you for that. And there's a continual thanks, and I will continue to say that because it is very important to me to see such works being done. So continue your works diligently, and we see light at the end of that tunnel, and we will reach it as one unified people. As you can see, this is lesson 303, 300 series lessons dealing with the symbolisms and allegories and the interpretations of messages hidden behind symbols that are oftentimes right in plain sight, but then go unnoticed by not only the untrained eye, but the unopened mind. So that's the purpose of series 300. And this at 303, lesson 303, I have to give credit. I always give credit where it's due, always, because no one comes up with every idea that they have, regardless of how far you expound upon that idea. But I would like to give this credit to my 3-year-old nephew and also my 11-year-old cousin for giving me this idea. It wasn't a direct idea because they don't necessarily watch this show, but a situation occurred which made me think why sometimes our children think the way they do about our people. This is a problem that stems from the roots and the children's minds of our people, and it is brought up into the adult minds of our people, which still remain childlike because many of our adults don't grow past the images of themselves as being inferior to other peoples of the world, particularly European. So, as you can see by the title, All Colors Under the Sun, I have to explain this as I go because to me, it is a very important message that needs to be said to parents. And our parents need to be very cautious and very careful about what we feed the minds of our growing children. See, and not only our growing children that are from our own flesh and blood, but all children who look up to us for guidance and for help and direction in maneuvering through this world. So the title, All Colors Under the Sun, I got this idea because I started thinking about the show, the British show, the Teletubbies. And, you know, it's not something that is really a big factor now as far as the popularity of the show itself. But I know at one point in time, it was a very popular show for a lot of young children. And a lot of people looking at the so-called quote unquote cuteness of the show really downplayed a lot of the political and the sociological and psychological messages and even religious messages portrayed in this show. Because a lot of times, you know, the messages are hidden in a childlike state or a childlike image because they know most of our adults are child-minded and won't catch it. So we're going to go ahead and uncover some of the messages and meanings and symbolisms in this show. Mind you, I don't recall the show completely, but I do recall important elements, and that's what I will bring up here. If you have extra elements and if you have things that I may have left out, you know, at a deeper insight into the show, definitely bring it forth because that's what it's for. This is for the growth of our people and for the advancement of our people. So all information is welcome and necessary. So anyway, again, the show, the Teletubbies, if you look at the characters themselves, you have 4 main characters, and they were all colored characters. Now, I'm going to go somewhere with that in a different direction. Because when I first started to interpret the show, I said, well, maybe they all represent individual people. Then I thought about it a little bit deeper, and I said, no, again, they represent us. And I'll go ahead and break that down for you. See, all of the characters were colored. None of them were black, mind you, but they were colored. So this is what's so clever about the British production of this show. Because even though it is a British production, there were no white Teletubbies. And there's an importance for that. I also want to bring up the fact that is it not ironic that the largest, the tallest, and seemingly the eldest Teletubby, Tinky Winky, his color was purple. Now, purple symbolically, people understand means royalty. But if you also recall, a lot of the controversy that went on around the whole Tinky Winky and how he acted and his mannerisms and even the color purple itself. See, it not only would signify the royalty color, but he was also portrayed to some as a homosexual, gay, whatever you choose to say the politically correct term is. So there was a big controversy worldwide over that itself. But if you look at it, being that he seemingly is the eldest, that would mean that he is the one that was first. See, he would represent the African as being the royal, as being the eldest people on the planet. But he's also surrounded by controversy. He also is the one that to people's minds does not fit in with the rest. See, and wherever you see the images of African people, of our Ba-Kongo, then you see controversy stemming around our people. So he, Tinky Winky, represents not only the antiquity of our people, our Ba-Kongo people, and Kukongo Kulu, but he also represents the controversy surrounding our people. All right? The negative caricature and images. Now, if you look at it unconsciously to maintain that caricature, well, you know, I already said that this is supposed to be imagery relating to our people. Well, then you have to look at who is surrounding him. You first have one of the most popular ones, the name Poe. Now, if I mix the names up, I didn't jump online and do research and go turn to the children's channel and watch the show before I did this. So if I got the names mixed up, be free to correct me. But if you look at Poe was red. It was the youngest and whatnot. And as I said, I was going through the imagery trying to figure out if these were representing individual people. You know, of course, we're looking at this would be the native of Kamweru here in America. You know, then you have the yellow, which a lot of people equate with Asians. Anyway, I was trying to find a way to relate the yellow to the Asian, the red to the native. Couldn't really fit the green. So I said, well, wait a minute. Something else popped out. Again, purple for the royalty. But then red, name is Poe. If you look at it, red, Poe, yellow, Lala, and green, Dipsy. I think I got that correct. These are not only representations of our African people, but they are actually displayed in plain sight as our African colors. They are our symbolic, ritualistic African colors. The red, the yellow, and the green. But they also not only describe the colors of our sacred traditions, the red, yellow, and the green, and our symbolisms and whatnot, but they also describe our languages and views that people have toward our Ba-Kongo people. The reason why I say that is because if you recall from lesson 400, go back through lesson 403, you see the African word, the Kibantu Congo word, Po. And it has various meaningful definitions in our languages, not only current, but also ancient. So the word Po is a very prominent Bantu Congo word. Now, if you look at Lala, Lala is another variable pronunciation of the word Nala. And it's also a Kibantu Congo word. And I know a lot of people, you're familiar with the Lion King and whatnot. You have the young lion, Nala. So if we look at this, we have two prominent Kibantu Congo words representing or a name to the characters. Again, supposedly British characters, no British names, but British characters. But then we also have the colors. So then we get to Dipsy, the green one, if I'm correct. Dipsy is not necessarily an African or Kibantu Congo word, but what it represents is what people think about us. See, Dipsy, Ditsy, they sound kind of similar. A dip is related to a stupid person. A dip is related to an idiot. See, Dipsy represents what people think about our people, the first thing that comes to mind about our people whenever other peoples judge our people. Do you understand? See, Dipsy is what the British think of our royal purple people. Royal purple. Purple, black, blue, black. I know you understand that. See, then if you look at the rest of the colors with the red, the green, and the yellow, all of the characters, the main characters of the show, they are all of color. But if you take notice, the only depiction of a white British person, as you should call it, is a baby up in the sun. And this is when we get deep with it.